Okay, we're going to talk about the main idea. We've talked about that once before. Actually, we talked about that twice before last week, but we haven't talked too much about the main idea. Can someone raise their hand and tell me, what is a main idea? If I say, in a story, what's a main idea? Thomasina, what does that mean? Okay, well, it's in a book. You're right. What is a main idea, Gavin?
What the story is all about.
Okay, and is it a lot of stuff or just one thing?
One thing. A lot of stuff.
All right. One thing, right? So I'm not giving details. What's that called when I give details and I tell you all the things that happened in the story, James? Yeah, but what's the word? Remember, we learned the literary word, the book word, for what it's called when I tell what the story is about with a lot of details. Plot. Thank you, Thomasina, the plot. Okay, but the main idea is no details, just what the story is about, the whole basic idea of the story. So I'm going to tell you a short story about Gavin. And I want you thinking, row 4, can you please straighten out again? Thank you very much. Okay, I want everybody thinking, Angel. Angel. I want everybody thinking about the main idea while I tell the story. Okay, so listen closely. Gavin really likes stickers. Gavin collects so many stickers you would not believe. He has books on his wall at home. He has books at school that he brings sometimes. He's got stickers that fall out of his pockets. He's got so many. He likes football stickers. He likes Disney stickers. He likes stickers from movies. Boy, oh boy, does Gavin love stickers. Okay, now, raise your hand if you think you know the main idea of my story. What's the main idea, Caitlin?
The main idea is Gavin likes stickers.
Right? Now, did I give you details?
No.
I didn't give you any details in that whole story? Sure I did. What was a detail? What was a detail in my story? Someone raise their hand. Tell me one detail. Thomasina? No, tell me one detail from the story. James?
You had so many stickers at school that some fell out.
All right, so that's a detail. He had so many, some fell out of his pocket. Demetrius?
He likes stickers from movies.
Okay. So that's another detail. He likes stickers from movies. Angel, what's another detail?
Hey, Gavin.
Okay, so he has stickers in school, and he likes stickers from school. That's another detail. Chloe?
He likes stickers that's footballs.
Right, so he likes stickers that are football, that are movies, all right? So there were a lot of details, but Caitlin, knowing all of those details, tell me again what the main idea was.
Gavin likes stickers.
Right, because all my details supported that. Told us reasons that that was true, but it was all about the same thing, wasn't it? Gavin likes stickers. All right, let's think about main idea while we read our book today, because boy, oh boy, friends, do I have a lot of questions for you. Now that we've read this book, I have a lot of questions on our second reading. If You Could Go to Antarctica by Faye Robinson.
Faye Robinson?
Shh. Are we all ready?
Yes.
All right, let's set it up. Our big books are sometimes a little unwieldy. Let's try to make it so it doesn't fall down. I'm going to get a quick drink of water to get my reading voice tuned up. I didn't have water when you guys got water, so I need to tune my reading voice up. Me, 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 me. Sound good?
No!
Oh, Caitlin, come on. Okay. Now, let's look up here. Can someone come up and show me where Antarctica is on this giant map? Chrisanna, come on up. Where's Antarctica? Where's Antarctica? Okay. The big one on the bottom. Sit down for a minute. What can someone tell me about Antarctica? Raise your hand, please. We're raising hands for this entire part of reading. Let's see. James. No, James, we already pointed it out. Just tell me something about Antarctica.
It's super duper duper windy.
Super windy? What else?
It's super
Super duper cold. Gavin?
I was gonna say cold.
Cold. Can someone tell me, we talked about this a little yesterday. Let's see if anyone remembers. Okay, let's see how well you can tell me, why is it cold? Cameron? Why is it cold, Chloe?
Because
Does anybody remember?
it got snow.
Okay.
And it's really, really windy and it's cold.
Okay, so wind makes it cold, snow makes it cold. But how does it get so cold that there would be so much snow, Grace?
Because the line around the earth that you showed us.
Got a globe. Do you remember the word for it? Equator. Right. Hold on, let's let Grace finish because she's about to give us a really, really good answer, and I want everyone to learn from Grace. So we have our equator on our globe that I had back there from yesterday.
When you get close to the equator, it's really super warm or hot, and then when you go below the equator and you're not too close to it, it's sort of cold. So
Wow.
a lot of the earth is really cold.
You know what, Grace? I couldn't have put that better myself. That was perfect. Great job. So let's look. Let's find Indiana. Indiana's right over here, and there's the equator. Is that close or far away? I hear people saying both things. Kind of close, kind of far away, right? How many of you have ever been to Florida? Raise your hand. Is Florida hotter than Indiana or colder? Hotter. Florida, see the equator? Florida's here. Which one's closer, Indiana or Florida?
Florida.
Exactly. So, here to here, Angel. Here to here, turn your whole body. Is Florida to the equator. So it's closer than here to here, Indiana. So Florida's hotter. But where's Antarctica? Someone come up, find Antarctica on my globe. Cameron, come on up. Where's Antarctica? Whoa. So here's my equator. Antarctica is in the furthest spot it could be. You can sit down, Cameron. The furthest spot. So do you think there's any place else in the entire world as cold as Antarctica?
No!
Exactly.
The
The North Pole, but you know what? The North Pole doesn't have land. It's just ice. So there's no other land in the entire Earth as cold as Antarctica. You're right, because it's the furthest place on our globe. We'll keep that there for tomorrow. We might use it again. But it's the furthest place on our globe. So I have a question for you. Whoops. So it says, if you could go to Antarctica, you'd probably have to leave from the tip of South America. Remember how we say you'd get across?
By airplane or boat.
Yeah, usually a boat. Usually a boat. You'd travel for days in a boat over rough, stormy seas, and Antarctica is a huge continent at the South Pole. So I have a question. Tell me how you think that trip would go. If you got on a boat on the tip of South America to go to Antarctica, what do you think about that trip? Raise your hand, tell me. Thomasina? It'd be really cold on that boat, that's for sure. Shh. We're going to sit on our pockets. We're going to raise our hands. Chloe.
It would be really, really windy. We would have to wear gloves, hats, and coats.
Yeah, at least. You might even have to wear 2 pairs of gloves, Latoria. You might even have to wear 3 pairs of gloves. You might have to put so many gloves on.
Like 15.
Like little gloves, and then really big gloves where you could barely move your fingers anymore, and a big coat. You probably couldn't move very well. You'd have to just walk. Would you be able to run a race in all that clothes?
No, you have to waddle. Like
Yeah. Very good connection, Latoria. You probably would have to waddle like a penguin a little bit if it got really windy. All right, that's true. All right, so let's see what it tells us on the next page. When you got to Antarctica, what would you find there? Let's look at this picture. Hold on, friends. I like your enthusiasm, but remember I told you we're going to raise our hand. All right? Because if people are all yelling at the same time, can I hear what any of you have to say? And I really want to hear because a lot of you have very, very smart things to say. Chloe, CJ can't see. Okay? So, Amy, what are you going to see? Icebergs floating all around. Some big ones back there, too. What else might you see, James?
A whale swimming.
A whale swimming. You might see that on your boat journey, on your boat adventure. What else?
Snow.
You'll probably see a lot of snow. CJ, what else?
Water.
You'll definitely see water because boats don't go on land, do they?
No.
No, they go in water. Gavin?
Penguins.
You see penguins? Chrisana? What might you see?
Seal.
Seals. All right, so a lot of things. Let's see. If you could go to Antarctica, you'd have to be ready for cold, cold weather. It almost never gets warmer than 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember, we talked about that as that's when snow starts.
32 degrees.
When rain freezes and turns into snow, it's 32 degrees. So even in the summer, Chloe, CJ can't see. That's why you need to stay in your pockets. All the way in your pockets. Thank you. All right? So even in the middle, Latoria, of the summer, it's still freezing cold. It's still freezing cold. In your thickest winter coat, you'd probably still shiver because Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth. What do you notice about this picture? There are mountains there, but what does it look like is happening up in the mountains, Jane?
It's starting to melt.
Nope, not starting to melt.
Blowing.
Yeah, it's blowing. Snow is blowing all over the mountains. Why do you think that snow is blowing?
Because it's cold.
Well, does cold make snow blow?
No.
What makes snow blow, Jane?
Wind.
Wind. Demetrius, we're going to let Jane answer. Jahira, you can go back to your classroom. Wind. Remember how we talked about it getting so windy? What do you think wind does to the temperature? Have you ever been outside on a day and it gets really windy? Does it make it hotter, colder, or stay the same? Colder. Have you ever been outside, Chrisanna, Chloe, have you ever been outside on a day where it was kind of cold but it was really still, no wind, and you walked around and you had your coat on and you thought, this feels kind of nice, like it's just nice and cold but not windy, and then all of a sudden a gust of wind comes by. What do you think all of a sudden? Raise your hand. What do you think? You were walking along, having that really nice cold day, the wind or the cold air just felt really nice on your face, it was totally still, and then all of a sudden a gust of wind came along. Demetrius, what are you thinking?
And then the one will push you right down to the snow, or
If it was hard enough, it could.
you'll come back.
If it was hard enough, James, what are you thinking at that moment?
Caitlin
Latoria. No. Right? You're not as happy anymore, are you? Why aren't you as happy, Jocelyn?
Because it's so windy, you don't like the wind because it's making you fall, and it's too windy, you just can't stand it.
Can't stand it. Have you ever had that where it gets so windy you almost can't stand it? Makes it hard to even look. You kind of have to close your eyes and walk like this, like almost shield your face with the side. Have you ever had to do that?
I did.
On a really windy day, yep. So imagine in Antarctica, it's already really cold. And let's see what it tells us on this page. If you could go to Antarctica, you would find snow and ice that almost never melts. On the shore near the sea, the wind can blow 50 miles per hour for weeks at a time. 50 miles per hour is even harder than on those days when the wind blows, like the day we went out last week and we had fun in the playground, but some people said, oh, that was a little windy.
But we said it was a tornado too.
Yeah, you guys played a game. You played a tornado game, which I thought was really, really funny.
And it was real. And the tornado was real.
Well, yeah, you guys made it up. You guys made it up. All right, hold on. Demetrius, stop. Stop. We're not talking about that. And Cameron and Gavin can't see right now. Thank you. All right. But 50 miles an hour is way harder than it was blowing that day. So imagine if you're in Antarctica, where it's already really cold, and then all of that wind starts blowing. Ooh. Remember when we saw March of the Penguins this morning? Remember the penguins all huddled together? Why were they huddled together?
Because it was freezing.
Cameron? Angel? Stop. Michaela? Time to sleep. Cameron?
Because the penguins was really super cold.
Yeah, so if you were super cold, why would you why if you were a penguin that was super cold, why might you huddle together with other penguins, Thomasina?
Because the baby was hatching.
Yeah, because you want to keep your babies, the eggs that they were keeping underneath them warm. Why else?
Because they don't have blankets.
Yeah, they're not people. They can't. When you get cold, what do? Blanket, cover up, put on a coat. But they're penguins. They don't have it. So they need to huddle together with other penguins to keep warm. All right. Whoa, look at that. Who remembers how icebergs form? What happens to make an iceberg? Oh, I heard Caitlin make the noise. Wait, no. What are we doing, friends? Thank you. I'm going to call on James because rather than yelling out, James raised his hand. Now